We are live. Looks like we're live. All right. We are live. We are live. This is great. So I still hear the music playing. And so I hope you have had an incredible evening this Sunday. Don't know where you're joining me from when you get a chance to log in, but I want to welcome you in because we are expecting women from the UK, Africa, my favorite place in the world, the USA, of course, and Canada. Welcome in, Girl Greatness. I am Lori Pelzer. I am the CEO of Girl Go Be Great Lifestyle Success Company and Girl Go Be Great Tech. Girl Go Be Great Tech, we will be talking about that over the next couple of days. Right now, we're going to dive into the moment you've been waiting on. You probably have either gotten an email or you've seen this on your social media and or a friend told you all about the Dream into Action Summit 2024. I'm Lori Pelzer. I am your host. I am the creator and I am excited. I really am. It's the end of the year. I'm also concerned. So because I was concerned, I had to say, what am I going to do about it? As Michelle Obama said at the DNC this year here in the US, as we go through an election process like no other, she said, do something. And so I wanted this to be a tribute not only to allow women to dream into action and get into action. I wanted to ensure that we had a conversation about democracy. So over the next few days, I have a guest with me who she's a woman who's decided that not only the political atmosphere is one where she could do something, but her idea about why it's important. And I think it's important for all of us just to have that conversation and enjoy having that conversation, hear each other's views, and continue to show up for democracy. Democracy is very, very precious. I am a product of democracy. You'll hear more of my stories over the next few days. In the meantime, Girl Greatness, I want to welcome you in. If you're joining us from LinkedIn or Facebook or you're here on YouTube, I am excited that you get to just click a button. That's what Girl Go Be Great Tech is all about. And we're going to be talking about that, like I said, over the next few days. We have 3 more days together. Tonight is our kickoff night. And I'm here to let you know a little bit more about what to expect. I'm here with you tonight to let you know a little bit more about me. And I'm here to let you know why it's important for you to dream into action. So, Girl Greatness, let's get started. Listen, when my team said we were going to create an experience that was like no other, they didn't tell me, right? I'm trying to multitask here. They didn't tell me that we were going to get so excited about it all that we wouldn't probably be able to sleep at night. And I'm excited about it all. So let's talk about why you are here. I've been doing the work of supporting women in business for over 28 years now. And my very first company, real estate, I learned something about women. The idea that women need nurturing. It's not that you don't have what you need inside of you. You need to be nurtured. You need that thing nurtured. You need that thing cared for, that thing inside of you. You need that thing to be heard. You need that thing to be seen. You need that thing to have a place. And that's the difference between a woman that gets in action and achieves the goal. So I sold homes. And in that process of selling homes, I learned so much more about women than I ever thought I would. Because we are talking about a very big investment, right? We're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars in most cases. We're talking about all of the resilience and courage and belief that it takes. We're talking about the strategic stuff like logistics, The looking for the house is usually the fun part. And then it gets real serious, real fast. Women also tend to doubt. It becomes a part of the process of her nature of doubting whether she's ready, right? So oftentimes what would happen, she would pick her home, and then days go by. We're in a negotiation. We have to walk through several iterations and processes. And she starts to have doubt. It starts to creep in very small. And then the next thing you know, it's a little louder. And then the next thing you know, it's loud. And then the next thing you know, it's like screaming at her. And then she makes a phone call. But before she can make that phone call, I'm usually on the case. Because A, I'm a woman, and B, I understand this process is a huge undertaking. So eventually, what happens is we get through it. But I recognize my job was more than just a real estate agent or a real estate broker. I was a real estate broker. I started out as a real estate agent, and in 3 years, I became a real estate broker, and then I became a real estate broker owner because I owned my own firm. I did all that within a period of 4 years. I made my first $1 million in my 30s. I'm a girl who grew up in poverty, and we'll be talking about that along with some of the very incredible women I have joining me in the Dream Talks. And these Dream Talks will take place on starting tomorrow. And we have the midday sessions starting at, is it 12? My team will tell me it's 1 to 2:30. Okay, well, don't worry. I'll get that time back for you in a moment. So we have the Dream Talks, and we'll have them midday, and then we'll have them in the evening. I know the evening session starts at 7:30 or 7 o'clock, and we go to 10 o'clock, or it's 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Don't worry. My team will put it here in the chat when those sessions start, right? When you can click on and know that we're here. I'll have women joining me from the UK. Shout out to the UK. I have women joining me from the continent of Africa. Shout out to my sisters in Africa. We have women joining me from Canada. Shout out to you, Canada. I love these places across the globe. Girl Go Be Great Lifestyle Success Company and Girl Go Be Great Tech. We have expanded the women that we will be serving, and we've been working on this for a few years, and it's really coming to fruition, and we can see the dream in our view. 2025 is going to be a big deal. It's going to be a big deal. When I worked with these women selling homes, and we got into the part of the process where the doubt stuck and the doubt just got real, it started to sink in, and the doubt just got really loud, as I just shared. My job was to come in and bring a concept, bring an idea that she could shift her perspective with. My job was solely to help her get to the finish line, to get that dream of being a homeowner into action, that she could actually live it out loud, that she could actually get the keys and open the door. So driving someone around, showing them property, I had a showing agent, we call the people that love showing homes. My strong suit was getting her to the finish line. My other strong suit was breaking down barriers that would have stopped her cold in her tracks as she navigated the process. And I understand that so many of us, we have that issue. We have that problem. It's not we don't dream enough. We dream all the time. We're women. We're creatures of God's favorite creatures. He gave us the ability to do things like birth. He gave us the ability to create and innovate. We could take one slice of bread and turn it into 4 pieces or 10 pieces. We can take very limited things and turn it into an abundant idea. That's how we were created. So when I saw women that I was working with struggle through the thing that all of us at some point have, I knew that that was my job. to help her get the concept, get to the finish line, take her from where she was to where she wanted to be. So a dream is an idea. It's a vision. It's an aspiration. It's a goal. And some of you held them very close to you. Some of us, to the next couple of days that'll come in and out of this Dream into Action Summit with me and the incredible women across the world that I've invited in with our dream talks, you will understand more and more that you're not alone and how to create the right strategy or the wrong strategy. There is a right strategy and there is a wrong strategy to put a dream into action. But even if it's wrong, we're going to talk about the idea of landing in a safe space so you can start again. Now, you'll have to work for that because it's not usually available, right? You'll have to create that safe space. You're responsible to find your safe spaces. So we're going to have also some tough conversations. These talks are going to stretch you. They're going to allow you to really dig in. Here's what I'm finding in the world today. I went in that real estate industry in 1995. I became a household brand name, not because I took all the cute pictures or the sassy pictures, which I did. I loved, of course, sharing my smile with the world because it invited them in, made her feel comfortable. I mean, we don't like the way you look, we might not even open the book. That's just the nature of humans. So it was so exciting for me as the years went on and I began to understand more and more human psychology. In this moment we're faced right now, right in this moment, globally, we are faced with chaos and disruptions. We're faced with wars. There's at least 3 wars happening. And the third one, many people are not talking about. We won't go into that tonight. This is globally. There's uprising and there is scarcity. If I haven't heard it once, I've heard it a million times already. You've heard the saying, right? Gas too high, groceries too high, this is too high, that is too high. How are we going to make it? Inflation, that's the key word. This is happening globally. Something else is happening globally. Women are being affected by domestic violence globally. Right now, here in the U.S., there are domestic violence walks happening. Something else is happening globally. Women are being affected by breast cancer in record numbers. When the truth be told, we probably should have had a cure by now, like a surefire cure. Technology is making advancements very quickly, but didn't make them quick enough. So many women are dying of cancers, whether they're ovarian, cervical, and breast cancer. Younger women. I'm 54 years old, and younger women are dying. So we have a health disparity, and it's global, and it's worse globally than it is from one country to the next, like the U.S. system versus, say, Africa. Then there's systems like Canada and the UK. These are places that we serve here, Girl Go Be Great, women in these particular regions of the world, and there's universal health care. Something else is happening. Our children are suffering. If you have children, you are faced with various new issues that face children today that didn't face children yesterday or the day before that or the day before that. We're having an enormous amount of shifts. So then what are you saying, Lori? I'm saying the dream matters more than ever. I am saying the dream matters more than ever. It's no more time for you to not get in action. Now let's talk about There's one thing that I think we all miss. If you're waiting on somebody to knock on your door, if you're waiting for someone to ring your phone, if you're waiting for someone to text you, if you're waiting for someone to pass your name along, then you will be waiting, girl greatness. These are not just experiences I've had. This is expert knowledge. You could be the greatest speaker, have the most incredible story. And I got an incredible story. But if I was waiting on someone, hey, I'm waiting on you. You don't know that I have an incredible story. You don't realize that I overcame teen pregnancy and poverty and the lack of love and worthiness. I've overcome every imaginable obstacle, either myself or through the loved ones that I serve. I got a great story, right? But no one is running after me for my great story. My dream is to become a motivational speaker. Hands up if that's you. My dream was never really to become a business and personal development coach. My dream was to become a lawyer. My dream was to become a motivational speaker and an author, to write books about what I speak about on stage. At 13, this dream was thrust into me. So I want you just to sit with me for a moment and think about dreaming. Tonight, I just wanted to introduce myself to you. And I wanted you to know what you can expect over the next 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You get to come in the midday session or the night session, depending on your time zone. These dream talks we're going to have. And I want to welcome everyone in that I see joining. Welcome in, welcome in. I see you a little bit. I want you to get excited about your dream again, the idea of just dreaming. And if things have happened and dreams have been just like snatched from you, like the wind is just snatched the wind out of you, then I hope that you leave this moment with an idea, that you leave this moment with an opportunity, that you leave this moment saying, I'm so excited, I'm so glad I showed up. That you leave this moment giving yourself, celebrating yourself, giving yourself a hug and a high five, girl, I showed up. In this moment, as we already talk about dreaming, the chaos is so loud. The noise is beaming. It's beaming brighter than the sun. We're attached to this thing called the internet. We're connected to the stories of everything that's happening in all the areas I just mentioned. My goal is to reconnect you to yours. That you become dogmatic about chasing back down your dream. That when you get up in the morning, you don't reach just for your phone to see who you can see and what did they say yesterday and what and where and how. That you reach for your dream. And they are looking at what you're saying and what's going on next with you. That you reconfigure your dreams. That you decide that your dreams are still alive in you. There will be some that you don't want to go pick back up, like a dream boyfriend, dream husband, dream partner. And you thought that was the dream, but that turned out not to be the dream. And that's okay. You do not have to pick up those that no longer serve you. Over the next few days, we're going to talk about, in those dream talks, things like concepts is what I call them, right? Resistance. Is it resistance or is it something else? We're going to really explore some real, I think, juicy concepts. Ones that I decided to have a conversation with you about because they have been my guidepost. I want you to really feel whole when you come out of this experience. I want you to let go of the fake it till you make it. I want you to let go of the I need to prove prove something. I need to be approved. I need to get approval. I need that. I want you to let go of that, because the dream is so much larger than you've given it credit for. The dream will reshape you. The dream will drape you. The dream will keep you. And I know this. I not only have experienced it, I am an expert in it. I've helped many women recapture dreams, fulfill dreams, which is a goal, remember, an aspiration, an idea, or a vision that you will get from the inception of it to the finish line. So many things happen between here and the finish line. And that is what we're really faced with. So to dream. You remember the poem To Dream? So I wanted to dream all of these incredible things that my life could be. That's not the poem. That's just me talking. And when you dream of all these incredible things that your life could be, you didn't count the cost of what could actually be the obstacle, the challenge in between that and the dream. So we're going to talk tonight in a few moments after we really wrap ourselves into this dream thing. I'm headed somewhere. How do you take the dream and get it in action? We're going to be talking about that in the next few days. But I want to talk tonight about the cost of the dream and the cost of inaction. Because the next few days will reinforce how you get the dream into action. So we're not going to just be sitting here babbling and talking and doing all of that. Our goal is to do the thing that you came for. And I promised you that we were going to go from dreaming to doing. I'm a doer. How many of you think you're a doer? I am a doer. And what a doer is someone that goes beyond the place in which they want to stop. Go beyond the place in which they didn't think they could go. Go beyond the place that they never saw themselves going. Willing to do the thing that very few other people will do. That's the difference in a doer. I love dreamers though. I'm a dreamer. Everything you see around me was created by me. We're going to be talking about these pillows this week. My own creation. We're going to be talking about the launch, hey girl greatness, of Girl Go Be Great empowerment products. And I understand what it takes to create something, but I also understand what it looks like when the obstacles show up to stop you from getting there. So being a doer is not easy. I'm a doer. I see it. So dreaming has got a bad name, got a bad rap sometimes. And I often ask myself why. I'll hear people share their dreams, say, I shared my dream with the wrong person. I'll see little, antidotes on social specifically. Don't share your dream with haters. Well, you didn't know they were hating when you shared the dream. How are you supposed to determine that? You'll see things like, don't share your dream too loud, too much. Be quiet about it. Do it in silence. So what have you heard? What is that colloquial statement that you've heard that's been either passed down to your family or you didn't hear regarding dream? You ever heard of the lucid dream? LUCID? Most of us have dreams. Most of us go to bed, go to sleep, and we enter into different realms of sleep. And so in certain parts, in certain realms, I don't want to go too deep scientifically or spiritually. I want to keep moving, but we will be talking as we go through the next few days. We have a moment where we have the lucid phase of the dream. The dream becomes lucid. We could actually kind of feel the dream. And we wake up, right? Because we've been through phases of sleep realms and the dream is still with us. So then our next thing is to go try to interpret the dream. So we go on this journey to try to interpret the dream. And before you know it, we've asked some people, we've Googled some stuff, we've done some deep research, and we found that the dream don't feel like mine. That don't make sense. Or we've shared it with some other people what we thought we felt and experienced inside of the lucid phase of while we were asleep. And then we got all of these conflicting responses. What I want to say to you is the dream is non-negotiable. The dream is not for sale. And the dream is not for someone else to interpret for you unless they were assigned as an interpreter. So in my mind, how I roll with it, how I believe, because I'm a dreamer, I believe that there is a spiritual understanding absolutely around dreams. So, but to find that person that can help interpret your dreams, it's like looking in a needle in a haystack. Really, seriously. I mean, a big old bunch of hay, and your needle, just a little teeny needle dropped in it. So yeah, you can sit and wait on that. Yes, you can sit and you can go and look for that for a lifetime. You can look for it, and you might never find the person that can help you interpret your dream. Well, I do believe there are dream interpreters out there in the world. I believe that the world is built on such creativeness and such spiritual, beautiful spiritual non-understandings that we won't ever understand, that it makes it impossible for us to understand what we don't understand. But what I do know is that you can get understanding in certainty. Let me get my words right. In certainty, if you just follow some of the understandings, they will take you in a journey so you get that answer you're looking for. But if you're just searching, like your head starts to spin, I'm looking for somebody to help me interpret this dream. God, I really need you to interpret this dream for me. But if you just believe in the understanding that you did get a dream glimpse, and that if you're doing the research, right, walking out the research, it'll lead you somewhere. That's complex for so many of us. And so many of us not going to do it that way. So I want to offer you a new way. You're like, okay, Laura, I'm glad you brought that in because I didn't know where you were going. This is where I was going. I got tongue-tied a little bit because I could go really down that rabbit hole, because there are people that interpret dreams. But I want you to interpret your dream by 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 concepts that we're going to talk about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And one of those is understanding the cost of it. If you heard it, if it came to you, it's for you. It may not be right timing for you as you would put it on the dream. Remember back in the real estate day, I said, all these obstacles showed up after she purchased a home, after we got the approval, after we did all these things, she started to have this noise that got louder and louder, and it became doubt. And eventually, what I didn't share with you, it's called buyer's remorse. And so you become remorseful about your dream. But how can you prevent some of that? Now, it won't prevent it all, but how can you still navigate the dream? That's what I'm going to teach you. That's how you stay in action or get in action. So first you have to understand the cost. One of the costs of the dream, we often think, is the resources, the money. We think the money. We think, oh my God, it's going to cost me too much. I see this dream in my vision that I want to open up a daycare. I see this dream, I want to open up a real estate firm. I see this dream, I want to open up my salon. And I see all these things that women need for me to do this. And by the way, shout out to my stylist who has taken my hair from some places. I can only tell you, she'll be joining me because she actually became my client and I became her client. And I can only tell you how she's changed my life with showing me what was possible. So I have a dream hairstyle now. I have dream hair. My hair was gone from the follicles. We'll talk about that when she joins me. So this idea of what it's going to cost, we often think resources. Number one, right? Money. So we think what resources I'm going to need. And then we think most of what we think in resources is money. I want to help you think a little different. The dream has such magical elements to it that it will find the resources for you if you just do certain things to get the dream in action. You'll get introduced to where the money is. You'll get connected to the resources. The dream, though, has to become serious for you. So I want you to write that down. The dream has to become serious for you. As you have to become unapologetic about the dream. You have to be willing, right? You have to be willing for the dream. You have to be agile for the dream, AGILE, willing, unapologetic. You have to be willing. And there's a couple things with willing. You have to be willing not to ask for approval. You have to be willing to move your dream forward without anyone's approval. Anyone telling you it's a great idea. Anyone telling you this won't work. I have a story. I'll make it very quick. This particular conference I went to, she was a $1 million coach to Black women. And having earned my first $1 million in my 30s, I wanted to go to anything that's talking about Black women and millionaire, because I had not seen that in the marketplace yet. So her bio said she was qualified enough to teach based on what I read. So I showed up to this 3-day high level, very high level. And you know how much the tickets cost for the seat, average of $1,000. Then you go and do all the other things, the hotel, the flights, and all of that. We're in one of the sessions and we're sharing the dream. And I'm sharing at the time, which my company was very new. We're 13 years old now. We're 12 years old now. And I was sharing, girl, go be great. And she was like, what is that? Like, what is that? That's how she did it. So we're in the round table having a discussion with other women, and we're sharing the dream. And she just basically took my dream, chopped it up, put it in a blender, and then minced it. Because you can chop up the stuff, then you can put it in the blender for it to get refined, depending on what recipe. So she took mine and chopped it up, put it in the blender. It came out grained. I was deflated, and I don't get that way very often, very, very seldom. And I went to my room that night rethinking what had happened. And I recognized the way she did it, the way she said it, the way she showed me. She was not interested. That's all that should have mattered. But more than that happened. Rather, her catching my dream, she killed my dream for just a moment. So you're not alone. So these things I'm going to teach that I'm even sharing with you tonight, it allows you to start standing for your own dream. You don't need no one's approval. You don't need a husband, a partner. You don't need a friend. You don't need a pastor, a preacher to prophesize. And I've been in church a long time. I've taken a break from church, but that has nothing to do with this. I didn't take a break from God. The understanding spiritual, the understanding consciousness and unconsciousness, and understanding what it takes to live out to my greatness, the potential, the talent that I was given by a creator of all things. You have that, girl greatness. You have that. You have that. I'm looking all around because you're joining me from several places. You have that. So you don't need any more approval. So that's the first thing I want you to do, is not seek approval for the dream. The most incredible, wild, unique, out-the-box things have been created through dreamers. We have businesses that we all use right in this moment that are part of our life work, life cycle. For me, it's been Instacart here in the US. Instantly, I can get my cart filled with my groceries and delivered to my door, not because I'm lazy, not because I really don't like the grocery store. But wow, what a dream. My husband is going through some major health challenges, so I needed to be my schedule flexible. My daughter could do it for me. We share a family app. My granddaughter be on there doing stuff. My granddaughter does her things, her shopping too, online. Here's what I thought about. What if the dream could just resonate immediately? And you didn't need approvals or acceptance or getting ideas from other people about it. I wish that was the case. It don't work that way either. It won't just resonate in all of its senses. It has to be developed out. So let's talk about it a little bit. When I talked about the resources, that's usually the money. What about the mental resource? Money, now mental. What about the mental resources it takes? You know where most women dropped the ball when they were buying those homes? They dropped the ball in the mental resource. So I had to help her stay in the game. So what does that mean, Lori? Number 3, you're going to need the support. You need the support. Yes, I didn't say you need the approval. You need the support. For someone to support you, you often think they must be approving what I'm doing. Not really. You have to go to where support is. So if there's a community of like-minded people, you've heard that many of times, like-minded women, like-minded people, that's all you need. You don't have to know them. You just need to make sure it's a safe space for you to land. Because if they're talking about something that's completely out of where you are, you might need to walk out that room. But it exists. You really just can't just do the dream alone. You do need support. So that's number 3. That's important. These steps are the steps to getting in action. These are the steps to keep you in action. And these are the golden steps. So one of the other resources is understanding the cost of isolation. Isolation is a cost that I know most women don't consider. When you think of putting your dream out there, or you go back to realize why your dream didn't last, why you didn't stay in your dream, how you didn't keep it in action. It usually boils down to resources of money, resources of the support, resources of, remember I said, mental. And now isolation kicks in. So you feel isolated because you're missing some of those very needed resources. Need can be a disempowering word, or it can be an empowering word. It's all how you mentally, your emotional growth will be necessary when you're getting dreams into action. I want you to write that down, emotional growth. You have to keep growing emotionally. Can't be getting mad at everything, upset, dismayed. You can't allow your energy and your frequency to be like this on a regular basis in order to reach dreams. It's why some of you are going to need to tune out of social media in looking at others and or trying to do the thing that we all have done, compare. In contrast, who are you to who they are? Because their dream is assigned. Your dream is assigned. Each dreamer has an assignment for that dream. So there's no way you could go and travel the same place or the same distance as another in contrast, because the dreams have assignments to them. As to why, if a dream comes your way and you just ignore it time in and time out, year in, year out, year in, year out, the dream, being such a spiritual thing, will find its way and take residence up in someone else who will give it the action it needs. Because if the earth realm needs it, right? If the world needs it, it's got to get from you to it. So if you won't do it, someone else will. That's why I know it's spiritual. That's why I am very clear that whatever dream I was given for Girl Go Be Great, she couldn't get it. And truly, she couldn't handle it because what Girl Gonna Be Great has asked of me, the cost has been greater than I even anticipated. So the dream sometimes is greater than what you anticipate. No, sometime, all the time. So that isolation kicks in when the dream requires so much. You like, it take all that. It takes all that. It's a big deal. As to the reason why Girl Go Be Great Tech is going to, I saw a dream that it's going to create $1 billion enterprise for my company. I thought, now I'll be honest, I haven't really yet tapped to hold on to that, to really, really drill it down. But with the power of technology, right? With the power of technology, it is said that you will be able to run a company in the next several years with less than 5 people and create $1 billion revenue. I was attending a conference virtually, online. The conference was in Australia. And this was a group of scientists, big brains. I'm a big brain, but they weren't all creators. They were on the other spectrum, right? Academias, looking to understand how this AI thing works. And they just was gobbling it up. They paid thousands. It wasn't thousands to go online. The cost was different. So what it cost them to look at that AI conference, to possibly put it inside of their current dreams as doctors and lawyers. There were all kinds of people with dreams out there, kinds of genres of dreams. They had paid a lot more money. They were in the room. So the dream cost everyone differently. And so I left there with that one session in my mind about $1 billion, 5 people, if you know how to actually use this technology. And most of everyone that's using it, we'll be talking about that when I go and talk about the Girl Go Be Great Tech, I recognize are not using it right. So I started to teach a little bit around it. I got frustrated because the women were really struggling to get it. And I realized it's so new, Lori. Come on, you got to have patience for the dream. So next thing is very important that I'm about to say. Not only do you need to be flexible and agile, you got to have patience. And what is that when you haven't practiced it? What is that when someone hasn't taught it to you? What is that when you don't have a bit of understanding what patience really is and how it really works? So I want you tonight, over the next few days, what notes you write down for tonight, I want you to write down this one. Patience is the new virtue to dreams getting into action. Patience is the new virtue. Definitely not perfection. I often tell my clients this. I say perfection is the enemy to greatness. Your job is not to perfect it. It takes too long. You'll never, ever, ever reach that mark. Woman comes to mind, Serena and Venus. If you're here in the U.S., you know those names. If you're not here in the U.S., they come to Wimbledon all the time. It's UK. You know them. If you're in Africa, you know them. They're global leaders of women in sports. And the key is, right? The patience is the new venture for dreams getting in action. Yeah. The idea is, see, Venus and Serena developed patience like I've never seen before, unlike to Mahatma Gandhi or Nelson Mandela when he became incarcerated and he had to fight a new way. How many of you are fighters? You really are fighters. You know you got to fight for it. And so many of us women, it's unfortunate, but we always find ourselves in a fight for our equality, our freedom. And that's what's on the line in the election here in the U.S. And we're going to be talking about that this week because I got a special guest telling us why democracy is so important wherever you are, whether you're Canada, whether you're UK, whether you're Africa. And we don't understand this so enough, right? The autonomy of being a woman. So I get it. When I see them, I get it now, because they are the epitome of patience. I'm like, how many times I've read about patience? That is one of the costs of the dream. Are you willing to be patient to make money? Are you willing to be patient for the product to at least be something that people get excited about? Are you willing to be patient? And what is patience, Lori? Patience is what I describe after learning about it the hard way, after watching it through, I said, Venus and Serena, two of my most trusted people to teach me about patience. First, it's taught. That's what I know about it. Their father taught them and their mother taught them, don't worry about it, Venus, just try it again. Don't get upset about it. Just hit it again. Taught them to keep swinging at it, to keep hitting at it, to keep trying the different moves, to practice. So patience is practice. The thing it will take to realize the dream. It's practicing the thing. So whatever the dream is, it's the continuation of practicing. Now, if you abandon the dream, that's something. If you decide to let it go, that's something else. But if you say that this is what's supposed to be, and I am the one chosen for it, then you are willing to pay the cost. Two more on this. Then I'm going to talk to you before we close out, the cost of inaction, and that was going to be very quick. Two more. So then the dream will have you do what? Travel for it. So if you're traveling for it, what does that mean, Lori? Traveling for it. Oh, have I gone through travels for my dreams? Remember I said I dreamed of being a motivational speaker? Well, I'm that. I've been that for 25, almost 30 years, actually. Since 13. I need to change that. I've been a motivational speaker since 13 years old when I delivered my first speech. And I got a standing ovation for life ain't no crystal stair. You got to travel for it. It'll take you in places. It'll show you things you've never seen. It'll introduce you to lands, bodies of water. It'll open up glaciers. The dream could take you to the North Pole. The dream could take you to Antarctica. The dream could give you free trips, because the dream begins to take you somewhere that you've never gone before in travels. You ever heard women say it, especially when she builds her first business and she's starting to make moves. She's like, oh, got this passport. I'm on this plane. I remember the first time. For me too. The dream did that. The travels also could look a lot of obstacle. I broke that down in Ebonics. Not with obstacles, a lot of obstacles. It could look like a lot of obstacles, challenges, pain, sufferings, betrayals, lack, loneliness, approval, confusion. I want to apologize. Inside of the line, I would have my dog with me. He just messed it all up. See, the dream ain't perfect. The dream was he would be quiet all night and he would stay out of our studio. The dream says that you will actually experience each one of those, but will you answer the call to keep traveling with me? To keep traveling with me until it's done, until you see the revenue you want to see, until you see the amount of clients you want to see. If I got so upset about the many women that opt out my email list, the many women that say little things about me that they don't even have a clue about, the many women that misjudge or misinterpret, I would have been stopped the dream. But as long as I'm clear, the travel of sure I am of ethics. I'm of honesty. Even when it goes wrong, my goal of the dream is to answer that call in a way that feels whole. The dream will challenge you. The last part on that. And I don't want to miss this, is why I wrote it down. The setback. Do you feel, going all the way back to the mental, you are prepared for the setback? I can give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 setback stories. And it will blow your mind. Lori Pelzer, are you kidding me? Oh, girl greatness, I am not kidding you. That's how this pillow was born, from the girl greatness, because I call, hey, girl greatness, I believe that's who you are, right? I believe that's what exists in you. And you put your name in the middle. It became a product that will be soon launching. It's ready to launch. This week, you'll get an opportunity to get yours. I was thinking to myself, like, wow, did my dream really challenge me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times? Yes. Do you have the mental resilience for the dream to take residence up in you and continue to move forward as you travel it through all of the ups and the downs? You've heard stories. People tell stories. I did that 20 times. I did that 30 times for it to make it. I tried it over and over and over again to figure out what worked and what didn't work. I mixed it. I twirled it. I twisted it. I got up 3 a.m. I went to bed at 2. Just went to bed the night before at 2 a.m. What are you willing to do for the dream? We've been giving up too soon. We don't have the right strategies, or we just don't have the right understanding. Because right strategy, wrong understanding, right strategy, they need to all be in alignment. You see how that works? Maybe we don't have the right consciousness. Maybe we just feel too beat up. Or maybe we don't have the right resources. Maybe we're looking in the wrong place. Maybe we don't have the right support system, because we're always thinking that someone is out to get us or take or don't understand us. Maybe we need to open up a little more. Maybe we need to trust the process. Maybe we need to leave room for the magic, for the dream to actually produce. The dream is big. You see how many ideas and concepts go around dreaming into action? It's not about just writing it and making it plain. We hear that often. And it's not just then go do it. We hear that too. That's Nike. That's Nike's dream. If you ever know and you had a pair of Nikes, that's not the way your dream will probably work, right? Then we become, in these setbacks, we become estranged from the dream, because then the dream becomes this thing where it's just too lofty. It's too big. It's a big, audacious, hairy goal that I just can't reach. Lori, what are you talking about? You got some money. I had a woman tell me that once. I've met many women. I've been doing the women business since 1995, because I sold houses, and the ideal client who purchase home are women, and then two-headed families, partners. So I sold homes to absolutely most of my clients were women for 15 years. And so I'm a woman's woman. I get it. And I said, oh, well, what is it costing? And you kidding me? You got it. So what is it costing you to do this thing I'm asking you to do? So she said to me, you have a husband. He makes money. I've seen y'all on pictures, y'all. I've seen how you look and how you roll. I'm doing the little fingers and stuff, right? Part of me was dismayed when she shared that. I was mobile. I'll never forget that. I will never forget these, what could be the moments of estrangement. She was trying to estrange me from my dream of being a top producing real estate agent. And a coach, and I'm helping her do the things she needs the most. But when it feels uncomfortable, then the dream starts to tell other people you're just intrusive. So if you've been feeling all of these things, I want you to know now, from me to you, that the new energy that you'll have by coming and joining us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the new mindset you'll leave with, if you actually show up to these sessions, if you put some time in your schedule, because women are operating on a time poor type of cylinder. When we think about the type of portal we're operating in across the globe, we're faced, as I said earlier, with many different ideas of what women are faced with right now. One of them is time poverty. And as we become more time poor, we're going to become poor. I'm going to be doing a session with one of our money dream talks and special guests on the bag woman syndrome and the single woman. All right. Bag woman is a little older. She's between the ages of 60 and around 58, 60, going on up there, because around about 62, the marketplace, corporate world don't like women to be in that space running things. Her money starts to change. Her mind starts to change. I can attest to it going on 55. I had to tell myself, you still got it. The dream's still alive in you. You're still moving. You're still grooving. I see women start to say, oh, I'm feeling old, 38. Oh, my dream is just, it's just, oh, my dream all screwed up. Well, then it's time to dream again. It's trying to get a new dream into action. I've said a lot here tonight. What would it cost you to not put it into action? Some of us operate in that. You know what it's going to cost you? Remember I said I was going to be quick? Because we're out of time now. And I'll tell you what to expect next couple of days. Missed opportunities. When I actually put this content together, I was like, these are my own, not only my lived experiences, but my expertise. I'm a transformational expert. I've taken $1 million courses with certifications. I've taken global leaders programs. In any profession I've ever been in, from nursing to speaking to coaching, I go get the learned education that I need. The dream requires you to learn. So the more you learn and the more you unpack, the more you discover. And that's what we're going to do in the next 3 days. So back to the final point, that the dream of not getting in action is missed opportunity, missed revenue, missed. And as I think about it, I would be remiss not to tell you that I have experienced missed opportunities. We say many things while we miss them. We tell ourselves the big, old, beautiful lie. We done lied on our children. We done lied on our mamas, our daddies. We done lied on ourselves over and over again. We didn't have to have no money to show up to the dream. You just need to show up, because if you show up, you will go up. I promise you that. I am living proof. You're looking at a woman who shouldn't be talking to you right now. I should be on some medication, right? And I have taken all medication out my diet. Out of my system. I'm on some holistic stuff, right? I'm working on getting rid of menopause weight. I'm working on getting my metabolism back up. I am not on any drugs. Every woman needs a little something to slow her nervous system down when she's just completely unhinged in her body. Her body is just not coming back together. And I'm okay with that. I understand it, because I got one too. Because the dream will drive you. Sometimes it'll drive you into overdrive. But you're looking at a woman that you shouldn't be looking at. I should honestly be rocking back and forth. I've lost my mama at 45. My aunt died right after my mama, because my aunt loved my mama. I lost my uncle, my favorite uncle, that took me and helped me understand how to be a speaker. He's my first orator coach, my first speaker coach. He taught me speaking. I then went to learn it from other people. I've taken classes with other greats, but I was a natural, he said. And I learned techniques. I've always put up for my dream. Put up, they say, or shut up. But I say put up and show up. Don't shut up, show up. The dream is asking you to show up. But I'm going to ask you over the next few days to show up differently. We're going into 2025. If your bank account looks not like what the dream is, it's time to redream a new dream of how that looks. I'm redreaming a new financial picture. So I'm going to be very vulnerable with you and very open as I teach the concepts that you can take home with guidance, practical steps and major insight. That's what we promised you for this event. So if you now know what it's about, you've seen me tonight, you know it's not going to be all this bunch of fluff. You're going to have speakers coming in, joining me on the screen. So it'll be half me, half them. All you got to do is click a button, but you mostly got to believe that your dream matters. You mostly got to remember that you matter. You got to get your worthiness up. We're going to talk vibration and frequency, a little bit more about what that means. Like, how do I practice it? We're going to talk about grounding. I have a holistic wellness talk with one of my past clients. She's a master at it, living it her whole life. We're not about to take you down a rabbit hole. We hope to help you land in what I said earlier. You'll be glad I showed up to this moment with Lori. I'm going to open up this box. We're going to unbox the new Dreamers box. I'm going to show you what we've been working on over here. Woo! How you can have your dream girl pillow, sit on it, lay on it when you need some inspiration, girl. Hey, girl, greatness, to just feel good about what you're working on. Nothing like it. The Dreamers box, the Dream into Action box. It is a personal and professional development box. So you can be an entrepreneur. You can be working on lifestyle changes. That box has incredible things for you. I will be showing you the box. You'll be able to pre-order it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We're also going to have co-working session for those of you who will be able to join the co-working session. You will be able to join us over there in the co-worker session. Now, in order to get the co-worker session, you do need to make sure you have registered in a form. There's links out on Instagram, in my bio. There's links in my Facebook. There's links on the page in LinkedIn. You need to get a form filled out because those are the people we're going to invite because these are free access otherwise. You do fill out a form. That's going to give you access. It was $37, but we've chosen if you just do the form and become a member of the community, we will honor you with a co-worker session where you'll be able to work with me, and we will be working on dream strategy. Okay. One of my dreams before we leave is to rebuild my wealth, right? Not just my regular, cash flow. I want to, at about 60 years old, I had to move my retirement up because I lost all my money in the 2008 crash. We lost everything. We lost over $1 million of our assets. And if you know anything about assets, you know what that means. And I will be sharing a little bit more about that story, how that affected my dream, how I thought my dream of being successful was dead. I'm going to be sharing with you in my brand new book coming out in 25. It'll be ready in December. And it's going to share some very graphic things that you'll be emotionally connected to. And it may be your story at some point. It may not be. But one thing for sure, I'm sure it's going to ignite inspiring, transformative experience that you know not to give up on your dream. It's a few parts of the story I've never told. And it's a time and place for your dream. There's a season to everything, right? We got fall, winter, summer, right? Spring. It's a time for everything. Maybe it's time for it to re-spring up. The cost, though, of doing nothing, of getting out of action, you can't meet the next person that's going to propel or maybe support your dream forward. You won't be able to do that if you operate in inactions. I know some women that'll be joining us that put it on the line all the time. Go to conferences. She show up to these partnerships and collaborations. That's why I chose these women, because they don't allow the thing that looks invisible to stop the possibility of the dream. Now, we don't want to always have to operate in a deficit. That's why we're going to be talking about that. That $3 million is what I was talking about when I said by 60, because I was supposed to be able to retire at 45. The direction I was going to the crash hit. So that was a major setback. And it didn't set my dreams back 1 year to 20. And then I've tried a number of other things to create big investments. And I will be telling you the story of a big setback this week, a new $500,000 setback. I invested in, and this particular investment, my daughter and we had to make a huge, huge decision about that dream. And there's a reason why we did. But one thing for sure and two things for certain, you matter. Your dream matter. I want you to begin to dream again without judging it. Give it an opportunity, right? Without you judging every bit and nick and cranny of it. Trying to figure out every little piece. Trust some of the processes. I said some. Trust that support is necessary. Trust that the dream will travel you. Trust that you deserve a space in this world with your dream. It's not just for who you call famous. It's that the dream, it presents itself as famous. It presents itself as famous. It will be famous if you give it some. If you give it some famenality. That's how I feel about it. My dream of being what I am is what I did. I did this with all those particular pieces put together. You can do all things through Christ that strengthens you. You can do anything you put your mind to. You can do it if you believe you can. You can have it if you believe that it's yours. You can go create dreams that you've never, ever thought that you were capable of. If, only if, you're willing. And it'll take you through all these steps. So I hope tonight was empowering. I hope that you understand that the resonance that the dream is ready to take up in you, whether it's to restart it and give you a fresh start, whether it's to recapture it, whether it's to let one go and create another one, whether it's to get really clear. And we're going to do all that. We have various conversations. They're called the Dream Talks. You'll have an opportunity to join me tomorrow midday. If my team could put the schedule here on the page, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was messing up the time earlier. So if you could put that on here. So I see some for access to the Dream into Action Summit Monday and with Tuesday, Wednesday, you click the link. That qualifies you if you fill out the form to be able to come into the email community. And if you do that, then I feel that I should offer you an opportunity to come in the co-working session. And we're going to be working, right? So Monday, we start at 12 to 2 Eastern Standard Time. So if you're in the UK, I think that's like 5 hours ahead. If you're in Canada, that is the same exact time as Eastern Standard. If you're in Africa, that is depending on which part, right? West Africa, you got 7 hours, and then you got 5 hours. You're in Nigeria area of Africa. So the US, as you notice, is we have the Eastern time. If you're in Cali, you're 3 hours behind us. Mountain time and Central, 1 hour ahead, 2 hours ahead, 1 hour back. So know your time zone. Just compare it to ET time zone, EST. Okay. So we pretty much was allowing you to come either noon, midday session, or night session. We have a lot of incredibleness planned in terms of dream talks. And these talks will last no longer than about 15 minutes each. And in between, I have a few giveaways and a few other, exciting surprises. And we look forward to your testimony in the next 3 months. I'm going to share something with you in the talks about the next 3 months, how to recognize whether this moment actually created for you what you wanted to right in here, and how did it get in action for you based on something I'm going to have you do for the next 3 months. Okay. I'm excited. I'm very, very much pleased about let me say it like this. I'm pleased with the dream. I'm pleased with the idea that who we are in the world as women, we're dreamers. That's what I was trying to get out of me. So I'm headed on To close out for tonight, just remember, girl greatness, go be great. Go places you haven't gone before. Do things you haven't done before. Believe what you haven't believed. If you would like to share your ideas or thoughts or comments about tonight, I would love to hear them. They, of course, keep me inspired. But always remember, I'm on a dream journey. I understand that I'm not going to always get the information that me as a human would like to have. But I am clear that the dream is guiding me and I'm traveling somewhere. So my goal is to keep that focus. But I would love to be inspired by you if you were inspired. If you have something you would like to share and you would like me to share tomorrow, maybe you get an tonight, maybe you have a dream, please let my team know. Send an email to support@loripelzer.com. Support@loripelzer.com. And until we see each other tomorrow, girl, you go be great. I'm going to let the screen stay up just a second in case you need to copy down any of those. Support@loripelzer.com. See any of the times for tomorrow so you can write that down. Share with your girlfriends to join us tomorrow, whether it be noon session, midday. As you see, that's from 12 to 2, or night, evening session, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard. Get ready. Get ready to put them dreams into action. We got some fire conversations, and they're going to change things for you. I know. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great night, and I'm logging off. Thank you, team. You can actually log me off, and I'll see everyone tomorrow.